We're in Bratislava,
You already have in the night time.
Slovakia.
We have in the morning time today.
It's not morning time, it's lunch.
It's not even noon yet. It's
Not
still
even
morning.
noon. Yeah, but you like to eat lunch at 9:30 in the morning.
This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. This is the video of my free Bratislava Slovakia walking tour. There's an interactive Google map for this walking tour. Just click the link in the notes below this YouTube video on your smartphone. At that link, you'll also find day tours, restaurants, accommodations, transportation, and a link to the best travel or retire cheap in paradise locations in the world. Okay, back to our video.
Let's go. We go to see the tour.
Okay, so this is the Bratislava Castle in Slovakia. This is the main castle of Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia. The site of the castle, like the city, has been inhabited for thousands of years because of its strategic location and access throughout Europe. The Baden culture was the first to construct settlements on Castle Hill in 3500 BC. Later evidence shows Castle Hill served as an acropolis for the Kalendenberg culture in 750 BC. The castle also served as a defensive position for both Celtics and the Romans in the 5th century AD.
Slabs.
Showed up here between the 5th and the 9th century. By the 9th century, there was a stone wall castle constructed here and a basilica. There's no one to charge us, it must be free. Freedom! 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 Uh-oh, busted. No longer free. The police showed up. By the 11th century, this castle was base camp for the Kingdom of Hungary. Because of its unique position on a large acropolis rock, it was one of the only castles that was able to survive the Mongol onslaught in 1241 and 1242. Otherwise, the Kingdom of Hungary would have perished at that time, because the Mongols kicked some serious ass when they arrived from Northern Asia. Later, when the Turks arrived, the Ottoman Empire, the Kingdom of Hungary had to hide in this palace in order to maintain themselves. The Turks were able to take everything but this area. Later, after the Ottoman Empire was kicked out of this part of Europe, Maria Theresa promised the kingdom that she would live both here in this castle and in the Austrian castle, and she kept her promise. If you're enjoying this video, could you please like it, share it on social media, comment, or subscribe? Any of that would help our business. Thanks in advance. Maria Theresa was the only female ruler of the House of Habsburg. She was a sovereign of Austria, Hungary, Croatia, Bohemia, Transylvania, and Milan, and the Holy Roman Empress from 1740 to 1780. This was her home. exiting the castle and heading to the second stop on the walking tour. And this is the way it will take you. Chunboy is heading down the stairs. This is where you'll go. So Old Town Bratislava is a complex of buildings built in the 14th century. The town hall itself was created by connecting three former townhouses that were residences. The old town hall houses the Bratislava City Museum, founded in 1868, and includes torture devices. The town hall underwent many restorations. The most recent, a Renaissance style renovation in 1599, and a Baroque restoration after an 18th century fire. And so this is what I'm showing you is this is kind of the main square, and that is the town hall complex or building there, the three townhouses you're looking at. If you go under the little doorway under the tower, you'll be in this little courtyard area, and the entrance to the museum is here. 1868 to 2018, and it's a beautiful little courtyard. Just really, it's a beautiful, quaint little town. Very small, a lot of personality, and not so crowded as some of the bigger cities. So that's the back side of City Hall. It faces the front side faces the main square, and this is the Primadial Palace. This palace in Old Town Bratislava was built in 1781 for the Archbishop. After the Archbishop moved to the Summer Palace, this palace was used for ceremonial government purposes, such as signing international treaties and peace accords. The Hall of Mirrors was used to sign the fourth peace of Pressburg, ending the War of the Third Coalition, dissolving the Holy Roman Empire in 1805. The bust of Emperor Francis II on the staircase next to the Hall of Mirrors commemorates the event of this peace accord. Let's see if we can find it. And here's the bust in the stairwell here. So this Franciscan Church is the oldest religious building in Old Town Bratislava. The church was consecrated in 1297 in the presence of King Henry II of Hungary.
In 1526, Ferdinand I of the Holy Roman Empire was elected to become the King of Hungary. Here. Kings knighted, nobles here to the Order of the Golden Spur. The adjacent chapel of St. John was built in Gothic style in the 14th century. Here's the adjacent chapel, which we can't get into right now, but this was built in Gothic style in the 14th century, about 100 years after the main church. So this is Michael's Gate. This is the only gate surviving from the medieval fortifications. Built around 1300. It was refreshed by a Baroque construction in 1758 with a dragon and St. Michael on top. Let's see if we can see it. During medieval times, the city was surrounded by walls with entry and exit only possible through one of the four gates. This entrance was built to show how it was once closed off by a drawbridge, which I'll show you on the other side in a moment. This is inside the city. We're on the outside of the city now, technically, once we pass through that gate. And this would have been the moat. And we're on the what would have been the drawbridge outside the gate. So that's Bratislava Palace behind me. It was built in 1760 for an aristocrat, friend of then Queen of Hungary, Maria Theresa. Today it serves as the palace for the president of Slovakia. Right now there's a flag ceremony going on. That's what all the noise is in the background.
This is the park behind the palace we just showed you. All this was part of the palace grounds. And you'll see it on your left as you're walking to the next stop. Now it's a city park. So this is the summer Archbishop's Palace. This was originally the 17th century Renaissance summer seat for the Archbishop. The Archbishop, they were based in Bratislava during the Ottoman Empire, and the palace now houses the government of Slovakia. So. So this is a church of St. Elizabeth, or commonly known as the Blue Church. This is an Art Nouveau church completed in 1913, named after St. Elizabeth. St. Elizabeth was a princess of the Kingdom of Hungary. She was married at 14. She was widowed at 20 and died at age 24. She was canonized in 1235 for her Christian charity. She used her dowry to build a hospital where she served the sick daily throughout her life. And of course, this church, built in 1913, she never knew about. So let's go inside if we can. Next to the church is the high school, which was built by the same architect, or designed by the same architect. And there it is. You can see the Art Nouveau style in both. And now it's time to do some Instagram pics for Chung Hoi.